And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to welcome you all to the Wisdom Wednesday with the Hello LLC in the Hello Plaza in Metaverse. That yes, you can come and join us from your cell phone, from your laptop, from your iPad. No, you do not need any VR headsets whatsoever. You can join us from your crusty, dusty cell phone right now. And this, my friends, is a completely different experience that we continue to share with you all, that the future's already here. These businesses, these corporations are already pivoting forward, and we want you to do the same as we move forward and continue to showcase this in an immersive way, a new engaging way. And today we're going to have the power of uncomfortable growth. Stop playing it small. And what we're going to do, we're going to play a nice little video for you guys to start the conversation with. So here we go, right, of being able to start this convo.
As powerful as a changed mind. You can change your hair, your clothing, your address, your spouse, your residence. But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over again, because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly changed.
If you want something out of life, if you want to change yourself, if you want to acquire something, if there's some goal that you want to reach, changing your behaviors, overcoming negative habits, it's challenging. It's hard. Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents.
The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, in this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power of pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game's all about.
When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you.
If you look at somebody who's really successful and you think, wow, I mean, they're so amazing, they're such a genius, you gotta dig underneath, you gotta remember something. People are rewarded in public for what they've practiced for years in private.
If you develop the courage to do that which has been given you to do, and you spend a lot of time going around trying to convince other people, trying to get their approval, you will lose your nerve and other people in your dream. How much time do you have left? How much time do you have left? When you start thinking about that, we don't know. Most of us don't use the stuff that we have brought into the universe. Stop wasting valuable time. If you want something, you have got to be relentless.
And boom, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is just a little sample of, the power of uncomfortable growth. And stop playing it safe. And this is in all aspects of our lives, of how we're not getting uncomfortable, because, prime example, and we can all relate to this one, is working out. And I know I said the W word, right? And working out goes along with all aspects of our life that, we don't want to get uncomfortable. We don't want to, instead of having that coffee in the morning, get up in the morning and maybe do some yoga. Get up in the morning and maybe do a little bit of meditation, because it's uncomfortable. It's doing something different. And, not only that, that, oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that. And I'm not used to the pain. I'm not used to that. and I don't want to be feeling this way. And so often we, we stay in that comfortable zone of being comfortable in our lives. And that goes in all aspects of, changing your business philosophy, knowing your target audience, maybe changing your target audience, doing something different. And I always love doing this and sharing this with people is that, what hand do you, brush your teeth with? Do you brush your teeth with the right hand? And if you brush your teeth with the right hand, I want you to, not if you're driving or if you're doing anything crazy, I want you to literally, act like you're brushing your teeth. Like put your hand up and act like, it's early in the morning, you're brushing your teeth and you don't want to do what you're doing today, but you're doing it anyhow. And act like you're brushing your teeth, right? Now what I want you to do is if you're right hand, I want you to go to left hand. And if you're left hand, I want you to go right hand. So the opposite hand that you brush your teeth with, and try to brush your teeth that way, just with your empty hand. And I'm betting you right now, it feels so uncomfortable, you don't know what to do. And that, my friends, is a prime example. Hopefully you're laughing and I got you, right? Hopefully nobody's looking at you crazy, wondering what you're doing.
Probably
right?
so.
Probably so, but you understand the concept and you need to tell them to come and join this conversation and be a part of it, right? At the end of the day, so we all can, face our uncomfortable, fears of where we're at. And you guys already know when we talk about fear, when we talk about, failure, those things are things that we make up, and there's only learning and gaining from those experiences. And so often we get away from being uncomfortable. We like to stay in our comfort zone.
Yep.
And so, that's what today's conversation is about, especially as you heard Les Brown, Tony Robbins, some of these amazing speakers. And really, we've heard it. Now it's just about us actually doing it, especially as 2025 has went around and a lot of people have fallen off their yearly resolution of what they said they were going to do, how they were going to do it. Are they faltering back? Are you faltering back? What did you say you were going to do? And that's really what today's conversation is about, is, helping us get back on track. Because if you guys don't know, at the Hello LLC, it's about raising your vibrations. And yes, we do talk about AI. Yes, we do talk about Metaverse. Yes, we do talk about fintech and crypto and all these other things. But more importantly, it's about raising your vibration and helping you understand how important it is to change your energy, to change your vibration, to change your frequency, to be able to get to the next level. And this is definitely one of those conversations that we wanted to bring to you guys and help you understand that, the power of uncomfortability growth. And really, as we talk about the business aspect, that we need to stop playing it small. Mm-hmm. And, stop playing small ball. And, something that me and Tara have talked about, that some of you that are on here listening to us, small business will keep you out of business. And really not understanding how important it is for you to be able to really understand that the same things that you're doing for small to medium-sized companies is the same exact thing you can be doing for larger companies. And it's no disrespect or no diss on small to medium-sized companies, but if you are making your way up the ladder, because there are different levels of entrepreneurship that me and Tara talked about, 2 to 3 weeks ago. Look, we understand there's different levels. Just where we are in our chapter, it's time to jump up. And it might be also time for you to jump up in your business. And this is where the uncomfortable conversation and really believing in yourself and not giving yourself that excuses, because I can share with you right now, excuses, eliminate, your effort. The more excuses you give yourself, the more the lack of effort you provide as well. And so stop giving yourself excuses and start really upping your effort. What you got, baby?
Well, I was, you talked so much, I had to take a drink for you, baby, because, I just thought you would like to wet your lips. Anyways, hello, beautiful people. It's a great conversation of the power of uncomfortable growth. It's going to be, as we always share, Wealthy Wednesday. So it's just sharing from a perspective and a point of view of things that we went through in hopes that it will assist you guys in maybe connecting the dots, have an aha moment, or say, nope, you guys are plum crazy. But, you know, outside of being plum crazy, we want to say we are plum happy that there's a lot of people in here watching us. We greatly appreciate Chef Andy for being here. Miss Leah Garcia, so good to be here with you. Well, you know, in live spirit we are. Anywho, Miss Lisa, thank you so much. I just have to give a shout out, you guys. Those three individuals that I just said are individuals that we greatly appreciate for showing up day in and day out and constantly being able to support us as we support them. That we doesn't go unseen, and so we just want to say thank you to you three amazing individuals, Miss Lisa, Miss Leah, and Chef Andy. But moving on, we have also in here Professor Roxanne, so it's great to have you as well, and everybody over here on Fanbase. Everybody who is joining us on live and Facebook live, YouTube live, LinkedIn live on whether it's David's side or my side. We have X, we have Instagram, we have Twitch, we have Metaverse. Let me tell you, if you guys don't know, we kind of changed up our Metaverse scene today, so we're in a different part of our amazing plaza, and so come check out the campfire that we got. But around, speaking of campfire, you know, campfires always spark a great conversation.
Yeah, they do.
And today's great conversation is the power of uncomfortable growth. And from a personal perspective, and as I always just share from my personal perspective, because, you know, I don't want nobody talking about me, so I'm not going to talk about nobody except if it's my brother or my mama or you. That's the three people I get to talk about. Or my nephew. There you go. That's four. So outside of that, I'll talk about myself because that's my favorite one to talk about. Anywho.
Well, that's uncomfortable growth. Most people don't like to talk about themselves.
And I get that. And I will share why. It's because there might be things that have been that has happened in the past in your life that you're not real proud of. And so maybe around a certain individual that you get around, you haven't been around that person in 20 years, but when you were around them, you were not the quality of individual you are today. You know, you might have been a little more immature, and something may have happened, you know, that you lacked integrity on something. And so when you show up around that person, you kind of have that like, that little awkward, you know, you're not that same person, but you know that that person remembers you, who you are of that, because they haven't had any conversation or contact with you since then. And so sometimes, you know, I share from the simple perspective of, first of all, you know, PD the dog is going to have to be excommunicated out of this conversation. He's got something to say too. But, you know, what I wanted to share was a prime example and a little, you know, story, as I always love to share stories with you guys. When you share that, Mr. Jones, and you say, you know, the reason part of like people can't, you know, part of being uncomfortable in that growth or having an uncomfortable growth is learning how to be able to talk about yourself, even when it wasn't in the best of your light, you know, when you weren't doing the best of things, and usually it's when we're younger. We all know that. We're going through growth stages. We're learning how to be mature. We're learning how to hold our word, all those things. We go through it at different ages and different times. But there's at some point in our life that we're like, oh, that wasn't the best judge of character. And my story, as I always love to share with you, because who else to talk about me but me, because it's fun. Anywho, when I was, I think it was around the 4th grade, guys. I think 3rd or 4th grade, old enough to know better, definitely old enough to know better. I grew up in a very small town of about 800 to 1,000 people. And there was, I walked to and from school every day. And that was about 3 blocks that I walked, if that, 2 blocks. And every day I had to pass the grocery store, going to school and coming from school. And one day I was walking home, and I was walking home with a kid that lived kind of up where I lived, but, you know, a little, you know, block down or whatever. And we had his nickname in school, and boy, if he ever hears this, he probably will remember this, but his nickname in school was Eddie Spaghetti, your meatballs are ready. His name was Eddie, and the kids called him Eddie Spaghetti, your meatballs are ready. And so the point being is we got into the store, and I didn't have any money. No, actually, I did have money. And he said, hey, let's take some Boston baked beans. Now, my gullible ding-dong self said, okay, let's do that. Now, again, back to the conversation of I was old enough to know better. Long story short, we decided to take the Boston baked beans, and actually he didn't take the Boston baked beans. He put them into my backpack. So when we left the store, I was carrying the merchandise. Now this box, Boston baked beans box, was a little small box.
Everybody knows what size box it is.
It was
the 25 cents.
25 cents.
Smaller.
I had at least 75 cents. I mean, I could have bought 3 of them. And so I was nervous. We left. And we got out the door and we were headed towards my house, and we hadn't even crossed the street. And Miss Linda and Chuck came out and said, kids? And we went, oh dear God. And they said, come with us. And yes, we had been busted. They had absolutely seen us put the box of Boston baked beans into the backpack, and off we went. Now, the funniest thing is my mom worked in Boise, so they called the sheriff. The sheriff came and got me and Eddie. Eddie's parents came and got him, and they handled that. I, had to wait till my mom could come pick me up from the city hall. So my mom comes and gets me. Boy, did I get in, trouble when I got home. But the biggest thing about this was, and this is the point of the story of the uncomfortable growth, was Linda, the young lady that was there, that was with Chuck, who was the store manager and owner operator at that time. He's since moved on, but when I got older, because I had to stay out of the store for a year, when I got older, and if I go into the store when he still owned it, now I'm cleared, I've served my year probation of not going into the grocery store, I was still what was the word? When you're embarrassed. I was still embarrassed. I would walk the other direction because I was like, oh shit, he only remembers me as this person. And it was so funny when we went up there this last when I went and spent 90 days. I came in the store, and Linda was working at the store, and she's still at the store there. And hey Tara, I can help you here. And I go in and I pay for my stuff. And as I'm leaving, I have that reminder of, oh yeah, she busted me for stealing Boston baked beans out of the store. And I wonder if she remembers that every time she looks at me. I've since moved on, and because I've done the mindset growth, the mindset journey, to be able to laugh about it. How silly was that? It was a great learning lesson. It was 8 years old, 7 years old, old enough to know better. But the growth from that, even into my high school years, when I felt shame for it still, even when I was younger and I was, still kind of back home, there was that level of shame. But as I've done, and I was sharing this last week, was as I've done the mindset journey and been able to kind of understand that I too have made mistakes, just like anybody in this world has. You say you're sorry, you do your time, you do whatever repayment you have to do of that, and then you move on. And the biggest thing that I learned through our mindset journey over the past 8 years is that if I know myself for my qualities, what I'm really good at, for my not so great qualities, some things that I should change, whether it's in my personal life or my professional life. If I know those things in and out, there's nobody that can show up in my life and tell me other than make fun of me or make me feel less than because they're pointing out a flaw I have. If I'm aware that I have flaws and I have, strengths, then there's nothing, that's a growth in that journey there to understand that, someone can come up to you and say, your design work stinks. Any flyer I've seen you design, just absolutely trash. Cool. I got it. I understand what you're sharing with me, and that my design eye might not be what is for you. And that's cool. I'm okay with that. You choose to reflect and share that way, then that's okay. But what it comes down to at the end of the day is simply, I understand who I am, what I have to offer, my skill set level, and I also understand I have room for growth. And when I have that ease and that comfortability through the mindset journey we've done, it's allowed me to get uncomfortable, real uncomfortable, with shining a light on my flaws and saying, hey, you don't do this so great. For instance, David's really good at having conversations from, a cold conversation, if it's in relationship to business, and to pique people's interest in business. He's really skilled at what he does in lead generation. I'm skilled at having a conversation with someone. I can talk no matter what. Exhibit A right here, as I'm just chatty Cathy. But when it comes down to being intentional to pique interest into our business, I've had to learn how to do that over time. And it doesn't come naturally to me as it appears it does to David. And vice versa, when David's sharing with me, when I'm teaching him technical things to do, he's now a real whiz at some things that he, used to not be such a whiz at. Because guess what? We got uncomfortable through that growth. So there you go, Mr. Jones. That would be my little share about how, a time in my, in my life kind of embarked on that uncomfortable growth, and it leaned into when you shared with people. People don't want to be real and raw with themselves, and they might have shame around something, and they haven't forgiven themselves to say, hey, you know what? It's all right. We all do bad things. We all steal Boston baked beans at some point in our life. We still paperclip, we still something, and it's that lesson that you learn in it. So that would be what I would share, Mr. Jones.
I love it. So I'm dealing with the 5-finger discount person, Tara.
Me?
Baked beans.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I had the money. That was the funniest thing. I had about 3, and I was like, nope.
I know the feeling.
And that comes down to peer pressure. Yeah. I was not, and that's something else, not to just jump in.
Ooh. But when you said something that's huge, peer pressure, not just with, the uncomfortable, but peer pressure of wanting to stay in the same, especially when it comes to business, right? Pertaining to what we do. Some people are more peer pressure to stay with the Zoom, stay with the 2D, foundations that they're utilizing, because they don't want to be seen as, oh, now I'm utilizing this AI, or oh, now I'm doing this. And, we all know how people's perception and what people say and what people think can influence us all, as it did in high school, as what you were just talking about, in middle school, and as it continues to fester.
No, I'm still in elementary school. Well, let's get straight.
Yes. Well, more importantly, not taking that growth.
Yeah.
Right. And instead we stop playing it safe, which is what this all goes down to. So I believe we got Mr. Nicholas in the room. How you doing? Miss Christine is in the room. We got a LinkedIn user that's in the room. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. We thank you guys for joining us. We'd more appreciate if you guys were to hit that hellollc.io, and you can come and join us in the metaverse and be a part of this conversation. Nobody got to send you a Restream link. Nobody got to send you a StreamYard link. We're not sitting back behind the scenes trying to figure out who to let on stage, who not to let on stage. We're not figuring out the chats or anything of that sort. And this is a real 3D immersive environment that literally you can be able to showcase your business, your brand, your webinars, your book launches. I mean, this
Are you ready to break free from what's holding you back? Introducing Let It Go and Flourish, a transformative podcast that guides you toward becoming the best version of yourself professionally and personally. Each episode empowers you to release the limitations, fears, and old patterns that keep you stuck, while embracing the strategies and mindsets that lead to true success. Through powerful conversations and expert insights, you'll discover how to transform your career trajectory while maintaining inner balance. Build unshakable confidence in your abilities. Create meaningful relationships that support your growth. And master the art of letting go to make room for what serves you. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, building your dream business, or seeking deeper personal fulfillment, Let It Go and Flourish provides the guidance you need to thrive in all areas of life. Join our community of forward-thinking individuals who are ready to release what no longer serves them and step into their full potential. New episodes drop every Friday at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. Visit merlinclark.com to listen to the podcast and take the first step toward your extraordinary future. Remember, your greatest self emerges when you let go of who you think you should be and embrace who you truly are. Let it go and flourish. Release, renew, and rise.
Yeah. So if you don't know, now you know. Mac Leadership with Miss Merlin Clark. She's going to be having her brand new podcast on February 7th, and you need to join it in the Metaverse, in her back office studio, in her Mac Leadership, that you can go to her website.
MerlinClark.com. MerlinClark.com. And that's MERLYNCLARKE.com. MerlinClark.com.
Yeah. And so not only that podcast, but we got another podcast that is happening this weekend that you definitely need to be a part of. Check
Are you
this
ready
out.
to break free from life's chains? Welcome to the Set Yourself Free podcast, now live in the Metaverse. Discover powerful strategies to overcome challenges, boost your confidence, and unlock your full potential. From conquering the fear of success to managing holiday blues, we've got you covered. Learn how to let go of emotional baggage, practice proactive crisis management, and celebrate yourself with positive affirmations. Join us on this transformative journey and discover the freedom within you. Set yourself free, your guide to a happier, healthier you. Visit our Metaverse studio today and start your liberation.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, Miss Cleo will be live in the Metaverse with her Set Yourself Free podcast. And that will be with Miss Tracy Jefferson. So don't miss that. You guys can catch that at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jump on up there and you guys can watch that. You can go to setyourselffree.io to check out more about Miss Cleo and her amazing adventures in this world. But back to the conversation at hand. The power of uncomfortable growth. I would say, in learning more about growth, I was having this conversation with my mother the other day. I talked a lot about David and I's mindset journey, and that is where the shift started to happen. Meaning, before that shift in mindset even showed up for us, there was a lot of things that did not work in my life, and it was because of who I was. But guess what? You try to tell me about who I was, and it was my fault, meaning I am causing what's in my life, that being the fault at hand, I would have been absolutely against it. And I would not have listened. And it really took understanding to get through, that barrier. And what do I mean by that was it took me going to an outside source, being able to break down those mannerisms, those traditional ways, those set ways that we all have, and being able to identify that if nothing is working in my life, or if something is not working in my life, that is because of me. And I always use the analogy with everybody. You've heard it here before if you tuned in, that yes, an asteroid hits your car and it's your fault, because it's so absurd. First of all, we really don't hope an asteroid does come down out of the sky and hit your car. But it's the absurdness of it's your fault. Well, I don't know when asteroid's going to show up. I parked my car to go into the grocery store. I didn't know that was what was going to happen. And so there's a lot of times people have that reaction and they share like, well, how would I have known what Mother Earth was doing and what was flying through the sky and soon to squash my car? I had no clue. Neither did anybody on the television or the emergency broadcasting station, because that wasn't initiated. My point being is everything in your life happens because of your choices. You made a choice to park your car right there. You could have parked it in the 7 other empty spots that were available, but you chose to park there. You made a choice. And when you make a choice in life, that choice has consequences or I don't remember the word that I was going to pop up. Repercussions was the word that I was looking at. Whether they're good or bad. It doesn't mean that just because it's a repercussion that it's bad. There's an impact to every choice we make. And a lot of times we think about how that choice is going to impact us, but we never stop and understand how that impact actually affects other people that we know, whether it's our immediate family, whether it's our animals that we have, pets or animals on our farm that we maintain and take care of. We never know the plants. People don't realize there's an impact on your plants. If you think that you don't have a green thumb, I have news for you. It's not because you don't know how to take care of plants. You might, be amazing at caregiving and whatnot, but there's also a vibrational frequency level with plants. And if there's something going on in your life that whether you voice that or don't voice that, that too could be lending to your bad green thumb that a lot of people think they have. They don't realize that their attitude and how they show up in life and the choices they make have an impact. And that's what I'm sharing, is that if you parked your car in that parking spot and the asteroid hits your car, that's on you. You made that choice to park your car there, nobody else. And that, my friends, as I have shared before, is extreme ownership. And if you've never read the book, go out and get it. It's called Extreme Ownership. It's absolutely phenomenal, because when you can be one with yourself about who you are and say, you know what, yep, I didn't have the greatest reaction, or I didn't handle that right, or I could have made a better decision because I didn't realize the impact it would have had on you and everybody else down the line. And that, my friends, is what we talk about, getting uncomfortable and the power of being uncomfortable in growth. Mr. Jones?
Yeah. And so, 30 strategies, or should I say a number of strategies to help you guys out, of overcoming, the comfort zone and growing, is taking small risks, right? It doesn't have to be a full-on, cold turkey craziness that I'm going to go run 10 miles and be ready for a marathon, next week. But it's really, understanding where you are now and understanding where your SWOT analysis. We just did a SWOT analysis, on our businesses. What's your SWOT analysis as you as a person? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? What are your threats? And knowing those things and being aware of those things and being able to reflect on those things, right? Not regret, but reflect on those things and understanding how they can help you out. And so, taking small risk. A study published in a psychology bulletin found that taking small risks repeatedly helps desensitize fear, making it easier to make bigger challenges. So I encourage you guys all, whatever you do on a daily basis, right? Let's just add one thing into it. And a great way to do that is to start journaling. I know I kicked myself in the butt yesterday. I said I'm going to start journaling. So start journaling. I'm sharing that with you guys because that's something I'm going to get back into doing. So writing down my day, understanding what I got planned, and really being strategic about my day, because not planning your day, you don't have a day. at the end of the day. And I'm saying that out loud to myself at the end of the day, right? So, facing your fears head on and understanding the fear, false evidence appearing real. Yes, that is a great way, but also, that we share is focused energy arranged to react. What are you focused on? Are you focused on the positive? You focus on the negative, right? How is that, how is that energy? What is that showing up? Is it, good? What are you doing? And then how is it arranged for you to be able to react? Because, we got into big stuff about this. Somebody said, response. Responding is responding, I take response as responding to a situation because you thought through it. Reacting to something is you haven't thought about anything. You just made a knee-jerk reaction off your traumas, off your dramas, off your past, and that's reacting in life. Well, we need to be responding in life, and that's really what shows up. And I'll give you a great example. Doing this technology, like Tara shared with you. I'm great at speaking, but this technology piece, doing all these things. Prime example today was an email that Tara does wonderful at. I took on, initiative of doing the email up at the front and, just having her look over it. And that used to be one of my things. No, that's not me. But due to the fact of growth and being and understanding the uncomfortability and the mindset that pops up, let's be honest with ourselves. When something that you don't like, prime example, technology, our asses don't read, number one, and we get frustrated. And then especially if you're on the phone or if you're late to a meeting or something else is coming up, we get, upset and mad. And then, we make it somebody else's fault and we don't take responsibility. More importantly, it just changes our whole entire energy and vibration. And when that pops up, it's automatically fight and flight. And we're going back to putting our dukes up. And this isn't what I do. And I'm here to share with you, you got to get over that, especially when it comes down to your business and doing new things, such as, implementing a podcast, such as upgrading, your monetization. If you just have one source of income, I'm here to tell you, go ask Apple, go ask Amazon, go ask Facebook, go ask Elon Musk, right? If they just have one service that they provide, they don't. There's multiple different things where we just had this conversation yesterday out of the old ways. So many people are accustomed to the old ways of doing things and just doing that one thing. And I'm here to share with you, you can monetize your business in different ways to cater to different people the way that they want to be able to get the information, right? Or to your services and products. Another great thing, especially for this year, change your environment. Right? Change your office around, change the look, change the style of where you're at. Your environment is everything. The facts say that Michigan found that physical environment changes can spark creativity and new thinking patterns. I'm sharing with you guys now, getting up in the morning, getting that body movement, doing some meditation, gives yourself some time to think about the day, plan the day out, and you've gotten moving. And that changes the whole entire energy and vibration of the day. Learning something new every day. Tara has this great app on her phone that shows facts every day. Like, did you know this? Did you know that? And I'll lean over and I look at it and I'll be like, that's something new I didn't know, right? Or learning, and not only that, as we talked about yesterday, right? Are you a consumer on social media or are you a producer? There's one or the other. You can be a consumer, but also make sure you're producing as well, especially if you have a business, especially if you're trying to build a brand, especially if you're trying to set yourself apart and not just talk about it, but actually do the things that you talk about doing and showcase that, because people are looking for those things for you to be able to showcase what you do, who you are, right? Showing them a little background of what you are. If you don't like putting yourself on camera, right? Get uncomfortable. Go for a walk in the morning. Look, we're gonna knock all of these fears out and just your morning routine. Okay, we're gonna knock these all out. You get up in the morning, go for a walk, take your phone, turn it around, flip it on your walk, and start talking to the phone about your daily plan, about what you're going to do, your grandkids, your granddaughter, your no good, husband, your no good, whoever. Just have a conversation, okay? And that way you can get over your fears and your traumas. Boom, right there. You got content. And so, doing something different, and then, setting a larger goal. I wrote something down this morning while I was working out, right? And one of the great things that was shared this morning is that, dreams without action is a delusion. And most of us have these dreams and we have these goals, and it's an illusion if you're not putting any action towards it. And especially a dream, there's different levels of your dream that you have to get to. You just can't be a millionaire and say that's my dream. No, first you got to become, a thousandaire. Then you got to become, a six figure. Then you got to be over the $500,000, right? And then you got to have, a plan and a progress that's working towards this dream, that AKA, and dreams are goals, right? And so there's different levels to your dream. And then
can I share more on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
When we started this journey out, we openly say, well, it was all about for money, right? And it was a side hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you would have told us at that point, I was like, that's not what this is.
That's not what this is.
But, in hindsight and in all humility, that's what it was. And I remember working on vision casting and goal setting because, we all do goal setting, but it wasn't as strict or as prominent in the life of, when we started that. And I would remember when we would get down of trying to figure out our why, which is what starts the fire, and it only ultimately builds the fuel to the goals, right? It's the fuel that, fuels the goals of why you're going somewhere is because of the why you're doing it for. And when we would go through those exercises, and I say this because today when we were meditating, there was like an aha moment. When we would go through those exercises to learn about what we're doing this for, why we're doing this, what do we want. A lot of my whys was for financial freedom because it came down to time freedom. And that financial freedom, had a lot of really nice things in it. I could envision a yacht and all these, a private jet and all of this stuff. And that was a part of the vision casting, of understanding why you're doing something or what you're doing. Now, nearly 9 years later, that's changed. But today, when we sat down to meditate, it was about 5 minutes into meditation, and all of a sudden that vision casting that we had done for so many times that were a struggle. It was a hard struggle to see it, to envision that you could even, have a life as a digital nomad like we do now. It was so hard to see those things. And so today it popped in my mind like as if it was as vivid as it was we were on, a yacht or in a private jet or, traveling the world, which we are. But the point being was we forget that growth of how hard it was to get from point A to point B through the vision casting of the goal setting that we're doing. And so when you talk about that, and somebody might be kind of at the beginning of this, and it's hard for them, or it's hard to stay focused on that, or that really is not the burning true reason as to why. It comes down simply to understanding that it's foreign to you. You've not been inclined to be taught how to do these things. And once you start sitting down and doing it on a regular basis, it then becomes extremely easier, is how I would say it. Mr. Jones?
Yeah. No, you're spot on. Of just taking on these challenges and for things to become a lot easier, because as you start doing them, you do one push-up, every single day, and then you start, getting to the point where you do 2, 3, 20, 50, 100. It becomes easier, and then it just becomes a habit. And we all know these things, and this is why we share with you guys so much about, the mind, the body, the soul, and really just having that conversation with the soul at the end of the day, and really being able to embrace discomfort. A lot of us, do not embrace discomfort when no pain, no gain. At the end of the day, we all know these blocking and tackling little, things that we were shared. I know when I was little, I'm pretty sure you didn't heard of that, right? No pain, no gain. And all of us have heard of that. And so be able to also understand, surround yourself with growth-oriented people. I think this right here is the biggest one, is that who are you hanging around? Who are you listening to? Especially when it comes to business advice. It blows my mind that people listen to people that don't have any clients, don't have, a true strategic business, and they're telling you to do things that they're not even doing, or they're, giving you examples that they don't even much have. And as we continue to share, you should be checking out people's resource, right, before you take their resources. And so often, because somebody sounds good, or because they're known for this, or because they're known for that, I cannot tell you how many people we look behind the curtains and are like, what? Are you kidding me? And so, and you probably have the same as well for those of you that are listening to us. And so be sure to understand who you're getting this advice from and running your business and showcasing you, especially as we move into this new era of new technology, of new, AI. If you haven't been paying attention, whatever side of the totem pole you're on, this transition of power within the US, it's changing, whether you like it or not. And, the AI is what I'm talking about. I know there's so many other things, but we don't talk about that. But just this AI and crypto that we've been sharing with you guys, I'm telling you right now, buckle up, buttercups, because here in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to be hearing so many things that we've been talking about that, Tara showed me a post earlier. I wish we could share it of you guys have watched The Matrix. What's his name? Morpheus.
Yeah, Morpheus.
Morpheus is sitting there and he's like looking at people and he's like, what if I told you I already told your ass about all these things and you weren't listening? And, it was a great meme. If you guys follow us, we'll post it. But it's so spot on that, now that this metaverse, now that this AI is coming to the forefront, people are going to be jumping over this left and right.
Well, I'll share, we, watched, me, I'm watching cryptocurrency conversations, fintech conversations, anything in the Web3 conversation all the time. And there's this one channel that I tune into because I really enjoy the information that they bring forward. And in that channel, this one of the co-hosts, has shared very openly multiple times that he made a $52 million mistake when he's late 40s, early 50s now. And when he was late teens, early 20s, he had the opportunity to, he did have stake and shares within Apple and, some of the Google and Amazon. And if he would have maintained and kept what he had bought, he would have, had $52 million would have been his net worth or his portfolio worth on that. He chose to sell it when it went up like $20. He thought that was a great return. He sold everything. And what he says is, in my defense, I was young and I wanted to pay off my car. And that was the whole reason I invested. So I stuck with my strategy. But at that time, the lack of information and knowledge and listening to other people share with me where it was going, he says, I'll never make that mistake again. And here he is, we are on the cusp of crypto regulations. And I'm just going to say it that blunt because regulations are coming down the pipeline. And
if anybody's excited, Tara's more excited than anybody. Because people don't understand, first of all, when you've done your research for 8 to 10 years about projects and about how to be invested, and you're waiting because you know what you have invested your portfolio into, and you know what your portfolio's chances can be of what the future growth possibilities are, is extremely exciting because it is like being in that chair that this gentleman, this co-host shares, that I'm not making that mistake again. And what I wanted to share about that was
we share with people these conversations. You know, we share about, hey, what's coming down the pipeline. We're not financial advisors. We don't have any licenses to be, you know, giving you financial advice. But what we're sharing with you is what we are doing. So we're just sharing our perspective and our story, and you can follow suit and you can do what other people do, which is like, hey, did you hear that's your game plan? I like that game plan. I'm going to go get curious about that game plan. And a lot of times people don't share information like this. A lot of times people keep it to their cuss. They become extremely financially wealthy, and they've never shared it a day with anybody. And at the end of the day, there's going to be so many things that you guys can go back to and be like, they talked about it here, 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 and here. Now, we can't tell you step by step or anything like that because we're not financial advisors. But what we can tell you is where to get curious. Go over here. Here's all the hints. Look at this. Read this. Get curious about this. Do this. And at the end of the day, and pointing people into the direction of where the knowledge is so that they can make a knowledgeable choice, which is all people need to be able to have the opportunity to, is to say yes or no. And that comes back to having the four most expensive things in this world. And these are the four most expensive things that you will ever own. If you keep your mind closed, you keep your heart closed, you keep your hand closed, and you keep your mouth closed. If you keep all four of those things closed, you own the four most expensive things in this world, because you're not open to investment opportunities. You're not open to growth opportunities. You're not open to listening to things that, yeah, everything might not be for you, but at least try it on, check it out, get the information, be curious about it before you get left behind. And that's where it comes down to at the end of the day, is when we sit here and we make fun of these memes of, we told you, you didn't listen. Look, we speak from personal experience. We're going to just use our family. We tell our family this information. They don't listen. There's 10% of the family population that has listened. The rest of the 90% of the population is like, whatever, not worried about it. It's just my little sister or big brother telling me, or my child telling me, and we're not listening. Okay, OJ, I really hate to get down 5 years down the road and you go, why didn't you tell me? Because I don't want to be the person to say, I told you so. Because nobody wants an I told you so. Nobody. So get off of part and get your butt in action and get curious about these things that could be, and it might not be your forte, but guess what? If there's opportunity there, figure it out. Find out how you can be a part of that opportunity so you can grow uncomfortably.
I got to start it on crypto, y'all.
Uh-huh.
So, some things to also be able to help you guys out. It is refrain from negative thoughts. You guys talk to yourself, 60 to 80,000 times a day. 80% of those are negative. Practice public speaking. A great way to do that, prime example, I was just having a conversation with one of our pivot members the other day, and they were asking me, hey, how do I expand, and get myself out there more? And I said, you have, your Metaverse storefront, and you have your Metaverse, back office that you have your Zoom meetings in. I know you don't like being on camera that much, especially for women. I get it. You got to get dressed. You got to do this. You got to do that. I get it. My bald head alone is enough. And so, I encouraged her. I said, hey, you have this thing called Metaverse. You can record yourself. You can talk and you can record it. I would encourage you not to splice it and dice it and try to make it perfect, because people want to see those inconsistencies, those inconsistencies.
Yep, inconsistencies.
Make up a word, right? And
I would try to do
see
that too.
And really be able to showcase yourself. And I said, you can do this all in one swipe. You can even go live, you can even, have this in your actual, utilize your StreamYard and do exactly what we're doing here, where it streams right through into your Metaverse world. And so this is really to where we can get uncomfortable and learning some of these things and really being able to understand, how this all works. And Miss Leah was saying some things in the chat, right? She said, financial entertainers trying to teach financial literacy facts, right? She said, I'm shocked. I'm shocked on how people are talking money advice from people who have no legal authority to give money advice. Facts, Miss Leah.
That part.
Yeah, that part. Oh yeah, I love that. That's my app. I think we mentioned the app earlier. And then welcome in, Mr. Daniel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. He says, hi, everyone. I'm just arriving. Miss Merlin, you just missed, we played your podcast and let everybody know to come and join you on February 7th for your podcast that's happening. We played your new motion work. So if you guys don't know Miss Merlin, she is in here. Give her a follow. Go learn more about Mac leadership. She has her amazing Biz in a Box as well. That's more than a website. It is a smart link. And then Miss Leah says, say that again for the people in the back. Yes, ma'am. And also, you guys go check out Miss Leah's Biz in a Box as well. That is more than a website. And definitely, she's one of our Pivot VIP members, as well as Miss Merlin, to where they get to sit back, relax, and let us, do all the technical stuff. And they get to focus on their business and not working in their business like most entrepreneurs do at the end of the day. And so, with that being said, guys, look, today's conversation is amazing and great. You guys come and join us in the metaverse. Come and keep commenting. I love that. If you guys have any questions or anything of that sort, please feel free. But, the last thing I'll share with you guys is fall forward. There's nothing like falling forward and being able to say, hey, at least I tried. And the great thing about it is just like I shared this morning, or I shared earlier, right? Working out as a great example. We all know that when, it is something that you don't like to do, but when you do get finished working out, prime example, right? Miss Leah is a black belt, right? When she is finished working out, I'm more than certain she's like, oh my God, I'm so glad I worked out today. Right? When so many other of us, or a lot of us, and I'll speak for myself, oh my God, I got to work out. And then you dread going. And then once you get going and you finish, and then you get, you feel so much better throughout the day. And it took to get uncomfortable. It took to do some pain. It took to get that breath work. But at the end of the day, it's well worth it. And that goes in all aspects of our lives, from, especially, marketing and developing and growth development for your business, from, just not doing social media in your business, not just doing, the lead generation. But I know a lot of times businesses and entrepreneurs have a tough time lead generation and getting uncomfortable with reaching out to people, getting uncomfortable with picking up the phone or writing an email or writing a DM because it's that salesman mentality, or you don't want to come off salesy. I'm here to share with you, if you don't like sales, you don't like business, and you're not an entrepreneur, flat out. Just gonna tell you how it is. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you gotta be ready to get somebody to say no. You gotta be ready to get somebody's DM. You gotta get ready to send emails. You got to get ready for somebody to say, no, thank you, I don't want your services. And so many times businesses do not survive because you're not doing enough of that, because you're not getting uncomfortable.
And for those that say, oh, I just do nonprofit, you still have to ask people to donate money to support your cause.
Hello.
It's the same thing. Either pay me for a service or donate for my cause.
You're an author, same thing, right? You got to sell your book. You got to share with people why they should get your book.
And it comes down to people not being able to sell themselves. And what we mean by that is people don't know how to say, I'm good at this. I'm not so good at this, but I'm great at this. Because again, it comes back to that story I told you, that uncomfortable growth. You don't want to get in to know who you are. You don't want to check out your flaws. And what I was going to share is because of the ego. That's the main reason that stands in people's way of why they won't do this, is because of their ego.
Yeah,
the I know it all.
Yeah, the ego, the looking good running the show.
Yep.
Right. And the pride, and or an old story that happened to them, especially when we talk about sales. Somebody might have did this, somebody might have did that. I'll share a sales story with you guys. I haven't shared this one in a while. When I was working at a company called a communications company, I had to go out and hit 50 doors a day. We're talking about in Houston, Texas, 100 100-degree weather, suit, tie, everything, walking door to door. If it had a door, it had an open sign, nail salon, sweatshop, strip club. If it was a business, daycare, you got to walk into it. And, this is why I'm so good at what I do, is because I've been in the most uncomfortable situations you possibly can think about and more. That I walked into this office and this lady said, I said, ma'am, my name is David Jones. I'm here to speak to the owner or the person in charge. Who might that be? Can you, tell them that David Jones is here? And she said, David Jones? She said, the monkeys? And I looked at this lady, and boy, I looked at this lady because I'm an African-American, a big African-American guy. And I said, lady, did you just call me a monkey? And she said, oh, no, baby, no. There's a band called the Monkeys, and there's a member called Davy Jones. And I was like, I don't believe your ass. And she said, come here. So she carried me around the corner, pulled it up on the internet, and I was like, oh, okay. And so I share these things with you guys because there's so many uncomfortable moments that could happen, but those uncomfortable moments lead to something completely different in a positive manner, which once again, it depends on how you enter the situation, right? And how you do this. And I share all of this, especially when we talk about lead generation and having, business, incoming for your business. We highly encourage you guys to come and join our Click the Clients masterclass that we have on February 1st, that we have found a new system. You guys know us. If you've been to our master classes, I can assure you it is going to blow your socks off. And not only will we show you how to do it, but we're also going to share with you a tool, an AI tool that literally will do all your email campaigns. It will be able to find people that you would not be able to get a hold of. And I'm talking about cell phone number, LinkedIn information, main email address. I mean, the works. It will send out customized emails for that individual person. And we're going to show you this amazing tool in our Click the Clients Masterclass, where you want to be a part of this. And normally it is $147. We have a special going on for $97. Those of you that are in our Pivot membership, if you are a VIP and above, you are already in like Flynn, so come on down. You guys also know the drill. You invite somebody and bring them as a referral. We got something for you. So share away. And this is our Click the Clients masterclass that we're going to have that, guys, I mean, this has turned our business upside down, especially for me, doing a lot of the lead generation to where I'm not doing what I was doing, about 4 to 5 months ago, especially now that we're moving to larger organizations and businesses, which this tool is a great tool if you are trying to do the same to implement in your business. And whether you spend an hour in it a day, 3 hours in it during the week, you can set it up where it works for you automatically and you don't have to be in it every day. You got anything you want to add on to the Click the Clients?
No, I just think at the end of the day, guys, we're always learning how to leverage the power of technology. And that is something that you can always trust us to do. Again, we love systems. We love the ability to be able to utilize our time wiser. And I will be frank, there's a lot of times people ask us, how do you guys get so much, do so much, and how can you, do it of quality? And it comes down to simple pipeline that we're able to do it because of the power of technology. Lean into those systems. David and I were just having a conversation today about a new pivot that we're going to do again in our business. And why are we not taking that when we make that pivot into a step up in technology? Why are we not pushing that envelope if we're doing this, realm of, expertise in industry? And so it's constantly challenging yourself. And guess what, guys? I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I always hated to, no, we just got this done. Stop. I just built the system. Let's not change it again. And then here we go. And It took me a long time, even through my corporate career, even into owning our own business, that it's good. It's good to make, yes, dream about those things. And yes, there's going to be work associated with it, but do that work, because then you are not gaining, you're not adding to your technical debt. You're adding to your technical knowledge and your opportunities. So again, just push the button, guys. Get curious. Do the do, and grow through that uncomfortableness, and stop resorting back to getting comfortable. That's where we lose traction. It's like riding a bike. We stop learning how to ride a bike when we stop doing it. It's like speaking another language. You stop learning how to speak that language when you stop exercising it. And I'll leave you on this as we wrap up this amazing conversation. Share the story with my mom. I had an amazing individual who was one of my managers in my corporate America position. And I called him Yoda because he was just a short little dude. He had this Zen thing about him when he walked around in the office, and our office was pretty chaotic. He just had this like aura of Zen. He just walked with this calm that just always was around him. And I was not so calm, in the sense that I am an emotional person in the fact of what my astrology sign is. And so I was easily, affected by emotions that would come and go. And he would tell me, we had lots of long talks. And in his tenure there, while we worked together, and he mentored me, because that's really what you're doing as a manager when you're managing upper echelon people like ourselves. He mentored me with understanding two things. A, your feelings are like clouds, and they too shall pass if you give it 15 to 20 minutes. Experience the cloud. It might bring thunder and rain and a bad time, but experience that for a little bit, and then let it go as the cloud moves on. Let it go on down the road. Number two was, you will understand, and you will basically, you'll know you got there when you can be uncomfortable with the uncomfortable, or when you can be comfortable with the uncomfortable, excuse me. You know you've gotten there when you can be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And that one, a long time, he says, I'm telling you, that has held me through for so long. When I understood and embraced the uncomfortableness of who I was, what I learned, how I show up in our industry, who I am as a husband, who I am as a man in this world, as I learned that I get more comfortable with being how uncomfortable I am, because I'm getting out of my comfort zone, I have become a better person just all around, and I feel better. I'm happier. And I will tell you, I haven't, worked with that individual for almost, 7-8 years now, and that stuck with me. So I share that with you guys, so in hopes that when you can find that you're comfortable with the uncomfortable, and you can allow those emotions and those clouds to pass on by like they're doing, you will find massive gold and reap the rewards that will bring to you in just having that sense of calm. And with that said, Mr. Jones, you know the drill.
Well,
more things.
Before we get out of here, guys, as we talk about, getting uncomfortable and, stop playing it safe, we encourage you guys to stop playing it safe with your actual, your front end of how people learn more about you. If you do not know about our Biz in a Box, then I highly encourage you to go check out Miss Leah Garcia's, go check out Miss Merlin Clark's, go check out so many other of our clients, Cleo Michaels that we showcased earlier. Go check out their Biz in a Box and look at your actual website, look at your maybe Linktree, look at your maybe Calendly that you're utilizing for people to connect with you. And I'm here to share with you, if you're utilizing just the Calendly, you are shooting yourself in the foot. You're literally sharing with your potential client, let's date. Let's date right now. Pick a date you want to go out on a date. You haven't shared with them your vision, your mission, what you do, how you do. And especially nowadays, as we talked about yesterday, these businesses are closing down their brick and mortars because they understand online presence. And so why not upgrade your online presence and being able to showcase your business without you being the janitor in your business? And that's literally what our Biz in a Box does, is it rebuilds your foundation, rebuilds your systems that work now and into the future, to where you don't have this over there, that over here, this maybe there, maybe that doesn't work, or you feel embarrassed about showcasing your business. And more importantly, it's time for an upgrade of your business to showcase to your clients. And so without further ado, I want you guys to check out this amazing video about our Biz in a Box and get curious, get uncomfortable, book a discovery call. That doesn't mean you have to get it, just that you know about it. And when you know about it, then you can understand it. Ask Miss Leah Garcia that when she knew about it, it was on like Donkey
Sick
Kong.
of wasting
So here we go.
time? Exhausted from managing chaos instead of running your business? Do you feel like your business is running you instead? Say goodbye to the chaos and say hello to a smart link that saves you time. Introducing the Biz in a Box.
With the Biz in a Box, you're not just implementing AI and upgrading your website. You are actually unlocking an all-in-one smart link that revolutionizes your foundation and systems while showcasing, marketing, and managing your business. Say goodbye to juggling endless tools, chaos, and outdated business cards. With our one app, one tap system, clients can access your products, services, and resources instantly via your link and QR code.
Just imagine everything your audience needs, beautifully and strategically presented in one seamless hub, designed to save you time, streamline your workflows, keep your audience engaged, and making your life easier. This is the future of business, built for forward-thinking entrepreneurs that are serious about growth and creating a solid foundation with systems that work today and pivot you into the future as Web3 approaches.
Stop living in the past. End the chaos and be the boss. Step into the future with the Biz in a Box. The future is already here.
And boom, ladies and gentlemen, that, my friends, is our Biz in a Box. Let us know if you want more information. Book an appointment. I put the link in the chat. That goes straight to our actual appointment schedule, and you can learn more. We can have a meeting, chit chat, and be able to discover so much more about your business and reorganizing your business and putting it all together, especially with Tara's amazing graphics and designs and all the razzle dazzle she does. I put it this way, guys. I would put any web designer, developer, system maker up against Tara, and I put my money on Tara any day, all day, and it's gonna blow your socks away. Ooh, girl, I rock.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Anytime, baby. But it's the truth.
Is that because you sleep in the bed next to me?
I mean, kind of, sort of, but it's a bias. It's a biased statement.
It's a biased statement.
We see other people's work, and I'm like, no, you don't do nothing about Tara. But look. We listen and we don't judge.
Yeah.
So a lot of.
But however,
hold on. So sometimes, when we get to that point, like we want to break up and stuff like that, I'd be like, damn, but I can't find nobody that can do graphics as good as Tara, though.
Well, I want to talk to her over the edge.
So we listen and we don't judge.
That's funny. If you guys don't know, there's a TikTok trend out that says we listen and we don't judge, and then you divulge something that irritates you or that you do. Like one of them was that sometimes when I'm cooking breakfast, I'll cook an extra piece of bacon so I can eat it before I give. And then when I divide plates up, here's your 4 pieces and here's my 4 pieces. And what you don't know is I already
cooked the extra 2.
Cooked extra 1 that I already ate. But anyways, we listen and we don't judge. But that was very sweet of you, Mr. Jones. But I was going to share with you on that it is just because I do it so much. And today was a prime example of me seeing one of my old motion work videos. And I went, oh my gosh, no, I've come so far. And that's for everybody. Yeah. So that's encouragement to everybody to keep going. You might not be the best at it. You might think you're not the best and other people think you're wonderful, and you just keep plugging away and you just keep challenging yourself and you just keep growing, because guess what? Everything that you wanted is on the other side of you saying no, and that whole fear thing.
And like Miss Merlin said.
And like Miss Merlin said.
Success begins on the other hand of our comfort zone.
Exactly. And that's like, Will Smith said, man, he never wanted to jump out of a moving airplane for the fun of it. And when he did, he didn't realize that, wow, he can do so many other things now because he got through that fear and how joyous that experience was. So live by that.
I'm still contemplating if we want to jump out of the plane.
I don't know. I'm still on that edge too.
We'll see.
As I get older, my heights get slower. As I get older, my heights get lower.
Yeah,
there you go.
We'll be good. We'll be good.
So with that said, you guys know the drill. We will see you next week. And don't forget, this Saturday, we have Miss Cleo's podcast. Next Saturday, we have the Miss Amazing, I'm sorry, not next Saturday, 2 Saturdays from now, we have Miss Amazing Merlin's podcast. It's Let It Go and Flourish, as if I just didn't work on the flyer today. I forgot what it was named. I had to pause for a second. But with that said, guys, come check us out, support the community, and you know the drill. Love, kindness,
integrity,
but most importantly,
commitment
and
consistency.
Until next time,
toodles.
Hasta luego, mi amigos.